All right, I'm trying to get more buyers and sellers, qualified people. So I have a huge sphere of influence, but I'm trying to find the best way to reach out to people that I already know, even if I haven't talked to them in a few years, to bring up the fact that I'm a real estate agent and to ask if they themselves or if they know of anyone who was looking for a home without just like coming out and saying that and, feeling like I just texted you just to get business.
First of all, stop trying. Secondly,
start posting. Bottom line, if you have a big sphere and they're connected to Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube, get them all online. Right?
I was gonna say I'm number 4 in Delaware for social media and real estate agents.
Then you just need to keep posting.
Okay.
Keep posting. Also, if you don't have them on I'd say a monthly email for your sphere, then you need to get them on saying, hey, this is Amanda. I'm doing real estate. This is what I've done in the last 30 days. So this is what the market's done in the last 30 days. Because you can break your emails down to this is what you've done on the first week of, we'll say April. And then the midweek of April, this is what the market's been doing for the last 30 days. And just repeat those emails every 2 weeks, send them out to your sphere, and your sphere knows who you are and what you're doing and what the market.
So what I want to give you.
Another thing is you can also just contact them and not talk about real estate. As long as they keep you fresh in their mind, eventually they will run into somebody that knows about they looking for real estate services.
Here is a letter that you could potentially consider to use. There's a couple different things. So the advice that Johnny gave and Mindy gave, thank you. I agree with all of your advice on that. You could also amplify what you're intending to do. And I would just copy and paste that, which is send them a mail letter. You could also find an event to invite them to. Okay. So if you want to reconnect with somebody, the best way to reconnect with somebody, I just talked to somebody this morning. Shadrach was on that call with me. Ed Potter, who we just closed on his son's transaction a couple of weeks ago. And Ed is somebody that's been in my life for 10 plus years. And he's been somebody that's fallen out of contact, fallen out of touch. Okay. And here's the thing. I'm bad or wrong on this because guess what? I helped Ed sell his property. I helped Ed's parents sell their property. I helped Ed's ex-wife sell her property. And now I've helped Ed's son sell his property. Right? That's a relationship I probably should stay in touch with. Right. And throughout the years, I've fallen in and out of relationship, just because he lives in South Carolina. He has for years. But what I did last year was, we do this every year, right? I remember we did a Mask for a Cause, which was one of our client appreciation events where we raised money. We had people call in to enter into a drawing. And so doing a client appreciation event, Ed Potter called into that thing. He gave a big donation, like $500. Then, a month and a half later, he gives me a call, and his son tragically had a tragic situation happen. Unexpectedly needed to sell his house, right? And so, doing a client appreciation event is the easiest way to pick up the phone because you're just sitting there saying, "Hey, Bob, hey, I know I haven't talked to you in a lot of years. Just want to check in, see how you're doing. Oh, by the way, I'm doing this event on, 2 weeks from now. Just curious if you want to come and attend." And then you go back to what they were saying before. Then you get into the conversation. Oh, what do you have to? Oh, well, I sell real estate. Oh yeah, well, I'm just curious. Who do you know that's in the market to buy a home or sell a home or invest in real estate? I got to the point there. It's going to be a little bit more softer than that. This letter I just sent you, that's a version of that. Was one of the letters that I wrote when I got into real estate sales. And I mailed that to my sphere at the time. I was waiting tables before I got into real estate sales. And so I just mailed that out. And that was one of my first steps of where you are today in your trajectory.
Dan, it looks like it got cut off a little bit. It stops in the middle of a sentence. So I don't know if the whole thing pasted.
Let me see. What's the last thing? Is it short term? Is that the last thing?
Yeah.
Does it say what's happening from now on and maintain a healthy relationship?
It does, yeah.
In my 7-year career, does it say that?
No.
Okay.
It just stops at why.
I'm going to paste from what's happening. So that's going to be redundant.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so it will be in there twice, but the rest of that should be in there now.
I don't think I messed that up, Dan.
I haven't given you access to that cat. All right. All right, Amanda, is that helpful to you?
Yes, it is. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thanks for letting me know that I didn't share all that with you. All right, who has the next question?
I'm focusing on probate and stuff, and as far as like my lead gen I pay for leads, but then there are people that I know or people in my neighborhood, as they die, how's my first approach going to be to them?
Empathetic. It takes, doing probate and divorce, and probate even more than divorce takes a high level of empathy.
Okay.
And I have a neighbor in my neighborhood who passed away, and they're doing an estate sale this weekend. And I will solicit the business, right? I intended, excuse me, thank you, Amanda, for correcting me for not saying try. I intended to give the son a call, and I researched the phone number, and I didn't get the correct phone number. And I asked some of my other neighbors. That's another way to do it, is ask the busybody neighbor for the connection. That's probably the best way to do it. This way I'm intending to do it myself right now. But we don't know how. It's like we don't know the heirs. That's the challenge that we're having.
Okay.
All right. Yet if you do know the heirs, it would be good to have somebody else that's like that busybody in your neighborhood to, hey, what are you guys going to do when you sell? Just curiously ask, well, did you talk to Mindy? You should talk to Mindy.
Okay.
Just sort of see what she says. Who knows? Right. Like, it's a little bit of a side approach. Outside of that, it's just, with empathy, I'm really sorry to hear of your loss. And I know that right now may not be the right time for us to have this conversation. Yet I just want to let you know that when it is the right time to talk, I would be available for you professionally. Right now, I'm available for you as a friend.
Okay.
Depending on the appropriateness of it. Now, if you don't have the relationship, so that would be for the neighbor, and you're going through your probate list, then it would be something similar to that. Just like right now, I know that this is not on your mind. I completely understand. I respect that. At some point, it's something that you may, that you probably will consider. And I just wanted to reach out to you to let you know, first of all, I'm sorry that you're going through this experience. Mindy, if you have an experience you can relate to them, that would be a good connection there. Okay. I remember when I lost I don't want to fill in the blank for you, right? But, but I remember how that felt. And I know that it's a tough situation for you right now. And just when you're ready, I just want to make sure that you know that I'm here for you. And would it be okay if I followed up with you, in a month or so, or in the near future? And then you follow up with them. And then on that follow-up, they're going to be a little bit more willing. Probates are really some of the best sales to do once you get past that initial piece there, because if you think about probates, the people that are the heirs are typically going to be in their 60s. Mm-hmm. All right. And so they've already pretty much done their career, and they're oftentimes in a place where financially they're in a good spot. Not always, of course, right? But the odds are they're going to be more likely to be in a good financial spot than somebody that's 20 years old. And so there may be a $300,000 windfall coming at them, and they may be okay with a $250,000 windfall if it means that they don't have to do any repairs. If it means that they don't have to go from Toledo to California to go deal with it, and it's just a sense of ease.
Mhm.
Those are some of the best transactions. As an investor, they're some of the best transactions that I've come across.
Okay.
As an agent, same deal. But as an investor, if you're ever interested to purchase, you could, because there's a value to that. There's a value to giving them the ease where they're gonna, and it's not taking advantage. It's just, hey, look, here's your property's worth 300. I'll give you 250 for today. And you don't have to do anything for it, or we can market it fully on the market. And here's what you have to do to get it ready for the market. And I could help you with that as well. That's typically the way I don't prospect those, but I've been in a situation like that many times actually, just from not intentionally finding myself there. And that's the way that I've approached. So
Okay.
is that helpful, Mindy?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right. Looks like we got time for one more question ish. Who's got the next question?